today I wanted to talk about some common questions that parents of blind kids ask. And I put this out on Facebook, and I asked some people who've educated both blind kids and their parents. That's how I kind of came up with this list. I am keeping the comments open, so if you have any questions, maybe your child's blind, you're a family member of a blind person, whatever, maybe you are a blind person and you have a question, totally cool. Feel free to ask them in the comments, or you can email me at blynddE1@gmail.com. One question is about the independence of their child. Let me first say I'm talking predominantly about people who are blind, not people who maybe have co-disabilities. Not that people with co-disabilities can't live completely independent lives. It totally depends on the disabilities and their needs. It's just that gets way too specific and way too personalized for me to even begin to state what the capabilities may or may not be. There's no reason why somebody who's totally blind cannot live by themselves. There's no reason why they can't have a job. There is no reason why they can't graduate from university. I know blind lawyers, blind people that have got their doctorates, blind business people, blind people who work in the psych field. There is no reason whatsoever your kid cannot be independent. And if you do have any doubt about your kid being able to be independent, don't ask about it while your kid is present. Seriously. I will tell you, that is one of the times I could have slapped my mother, whom I love dearly. At the age of 16, I will never forget her asking, "So will she be able to live independently?" I thought, you stupid freaking idiot. What a freaking dumb question. How stupid are you? Sorry, that was my real thoughts going through my head. Luckily, I just kind of looked at her like she was a dumb person. And my mom, by and large, is very, very good about that and very intelligent. It's just, she's not perfect and had a lapse of judgment. Like we all do. Yeah, so don't do that. If you're truly concerned about your kid's ability to live independently, there's many different professionals you might choose to ask. But don't do so in front of your kid. It just don't. Another question that people commonly ask is, who will my kid fall in love with? Or who will fall in love with my kid? I don't have a crystal ball. I can't predict that anymore for your kid as I can for anybody else's kid. What I will say is, some blind people date blind people, some blind people date sighted people, some blind people date people with other disabilities, some blind people are gay, some blind people are straight, some blind people are polyamorous, some blind people are pansexual. I mean, really, if it exists in the quote sighted world, it exists in the blind world. I can tell you, I've personally not really found dating to be any more difficult being blind. Now, I will say, I will not meet somebody somewhere that I cannot get independently to and from by myself. And that is something I would encourage everybody to follow. And that's just common sense and a safety measure. Stinging. The rocking back and forth, the moving like this. Not all blind people do that. Your child might start to develop these habits, and it is going to be up to you to make sure that your child does not continue to have these habits. And I would highly recommend it, because here's the sad truth of it. Your kid might be very, very intelligent, but if they go into an interview rocking or shaking their head back and forth like this, or if the person's directly in front of them but they're looking off to the left talking to them, it's a bad look. It just is. It's not going to come across as them being competent to handle positions. The assumption is going to be that there is some cognitive delays, even if there isn't. So that's really something that you and the teachers around your child need to address and need to work on your child with. If your child can see shadows and faces, get them to make face contact. They might not be able to make eye contact, and that's okay. Settle for face contact. If they can't do that, get them to look in the direction that they're at least talking. Because otherwise, it's just very hard to take somebody seriously. So these were if your child does have multiple disabilities, and if the fact is your child will never be able to live independently, there are group home options that you can look into, and I would highly, highly advise coming up with a plan and constantly changing that plan as needed. I would also truly advise anyone that is feeling isolated or alone or scared about their child's disability, please seek help. You do not have to do this on your own. Being a parent is tough, and being a parent of somebody who is disabled can come with its own unique set of challenges. Now, be mindful that you do not allow your worries or anxieties or the fact that you feel bad that your kid has a disability to turn to pity. That is the worst thing you can do for your child. Hold your child to reasonable expectations. Now, what I mean by that is, if your child is completely blind, no, they're never going to be a fighter pilot. But don't just assume that they're going to waste away and, be on SSI for the rest of their life either. Kids are smart. Kids pick up on what you're telling them. And the more faith and the more belief that you put in them, the more they will succeed. Expect your child to succeed and be all that they are capable of being. Expect your child to get a job, to have a life, to get married. If they want kids, to have kids. Yes, blind people can have kids, do raise kids. It's okay. I promise. Your child's blindness will not be the sole defining factor in if your child is a good parent or bad parent. There are plenty of blind people that I know who I'd leave my kid with in a heartbeat, plenty of sighted people who I wouldn't, and vice versa. So, that's just part of it. Some people think that, for whatever reason, that blind people, are basically like eunuchs or don't engage in, sexual activities, or blind people are somehow pure, and, sorry to bust your bubble. Really, I am. But if that's what you're thinking, I got some bad news for you. I have I had a friend whose mother freaked out because she found porn magazines in her blind son's room, and she goes, "But you can't even see them." And he was having his friends describe the pictures to him. I'm just saying, don't think just because your kid has a disability that they're not going to be interested in sex, drugs, and I would say rock and roll, but rap, whatever, that all the kids are into. And that's okay. That's normal. That's healthy. don't shelter them because of that. You know, if you do have any questions, again, you can email me, post them down here, whatever makes you happy. Thanks for watching.